Peoples of the universe, please attend carefully. The message that follows is vital to the future of you all.
But this time it is, okay? But this time it is. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. This one is vital to the future of us all. But as we're going to discuss, there is no future. There is no past either. Past, present, future is I think, a finite concept. I think if one looks at the world, looks at totality, everything as from an infinite perspective, as much as we can imagine it, because we can't. I'm going to go into all this. It's not really real. There's no real past, present, or future. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about tonight. How are you, Howie? So I recorded this video earlier today, and I quite liked it. I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay, and I was going to put it out, and I could really do better. It's like, that's the trouble. I am a bit obsessive. Pop culture avenger. How are you, sir? I hope you're avenging. Pop culture, because there's much to avenge. Let me tell you, you've got your work cut out for you, mate. So I recorded this video earlier because I'm in an interesting time of life right now. By the way, hit that subscribe button. Don't touch that dial, and hit that subscribe button, everybody. It's an interesting week this week. It's the holiday of Sukkot, which is very weird, very, very weird. I'm in very Jewy circles, right? I don't normally interact with people not Jewish that often. I live in Israel. I don't drive. Arabs, I guess, but fine. They're not Jewish. I interact with them all the time. But I'm not Semitic, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. People who have no, idea of this culture, really. And it's a very, very weird one. I'm just going to pull out some pictures. So you can, because to demonstrate my point. Oh yeah, that's a good one. 1 second. And so one could quite reasonably ask, what the hell? We're like, what the hell does God want? They're like, what? So I think that would all be reasonable questions. That question will be much more reasonable when I show you the weird shit that is going down, and it's objectively weird shit. I think I have to get it together. That's me. Yeah, that's me. That's okay. That's right. Okay, this all looks right. Okay. Now I'm going to go share screen. Fine, we'll start with that one. We'll share with that screen. Share screen. It's not a Chrome tab. It is an application window. Ta-da! Excellent. So what is this? What the hell is this? And this is my sukkah. Sukkah is sukkah. I'm saying it weird. I'm saying it weird because I'm saying it to non-Jews, and I'm imagining you trying to say it, and so I'm saying it like you would say it in my imagination of you saying it. That's a bit meta. Okay, so what happens is this week is you're supposed to make this hut outside your house, and you're supposed to basically live in it. You're supposed to sleep in it. I can't do it. I tried a few times. I ammed myself up a couple of years. I had a comfy bed still. Can't do it. It's awful. A few years it was fun. We were all in there together, like when the kids were little, right? Me, my wife, all the kids, and we all slept there. We had couches out there. It was really, really nice. But they all kind of grew out of that now. But we all sat in there. We slept in there, watched movies. It was really cool. It was a James Bond movie, I think. It was really cool. Anyway, so what God says, you go and make this little hut outside your house, right? And you're supposed to live in it. If I eat bread or grain products, I have to eat it there, or wine. And then when I eat it there, I got to say an extra blessing. I normally say the blessing over food. Pray eats. That's when you have some fruit, right? And then you got to pray Mazon, which is if you're having crackers, right? And then you got to say this extra blessing. You go, Baruch atah Hashem, blessed are you, God, Melech Haolam, King of reality. King of reality, which I think is pretty cool. That's my own translation, but I think it works better. Barim and Amazon, who have brought forth the grain products, and that's exactly what it means. And so you eat that, but then you have this extra blessing where you go, Baruch atah Hashem, Kingdom come, blessed are you, God, King of the universe, King of reality. What was it? Shekesh HaMitzvah, who has blessed us with commandments and commanded us to l'shape of sukkah, sit or reside within the sukkah. So what the hell is this thing? So again, it's a hut. You're supposed to be able to see the sky through it. You're supposed to be able to see the stars through it. Here, I'll show you my son's one. This is him in the army. He made one. So there's very specific rules about it. The roofing has to be made of organic matter, only organic matter, and can only be touching organic matter. So you see the metal bars at the top, they have wood on top of them. Because of that, it's called the schach. It's called schach. There you go. I'm giving all the Jewy insiders. So he's in the army. He built himself that one. This is my one. It's much more comfortable. But yeah, you have to ask yourself, why? Like, why would God want that? You know, I'm imagining you guys ask me, like, seeing this and go, because you'll be too polite. Okay, you'll be too polite. You wouldn't ask the question. But if you were, you go, what the hell? What are you doing? This is crazy. And you know, it's fair, you know, fair thing to say. If you think that was crazy, hang on to your hats. We're coming back to this. So we have this thing where you take a arbor minim, which is 4 types of species. A lulav, which is a palm frond, is and the straighter the taller the palm frond, but the straighter you spit in the middle is the more kosher palm frond. Myrtle leaves and willow leaves and a lemon-like fruit called a citron, called an etrog. We call it an etrog, right? You wave them. You wave. This happens. This is a real thing. This actually really happens. Okay, I'm going to show you pictures. You think I'm pissing around? No. So this is a standard Jew. This is your your defining Jew doing it. He's got. You can't really see the lemon, right? You want to see the lemon? Here's the lemon. Here's me this morning on the street. Well, actually, yesterday morning on the street with my lemon-like fruit. So again, here I'll show you. We all have to pray on the street now. So you can see we have little prayer groups on the street. It's the lighting's gorgeous. I have to say, the lighting's very, very nice. Have these prayer groups on the street. And you wave these things, you see. That's my neighbor. He's got his together, and he waves them together. You wave them, we'll go front, left, behind you, right, up, and down. Like all 6 directions there exist with as well. Where 6 is always a number that represents completeness. 7 is the number that represents the world, because that's the maximum you get. 8 is the number that represents beyond reality. That's why an 8, I think, if you turn it on side, infinity, basically the same thing. So anyway, what the hell does God want, right? What the hell does God want, right? This is crazy. Let's go back to the sukkah. So basically, one idea, each different thing has its own, symbolism. Like, imagine if somebody from the future, 500 years in the future, comes back and says, what is the meaning of this apple symbol many of you had on your things? And you found it, you felt emboldened by it. You felt yourself risen up by it until this man Jobs died. And then nobody gave a shit after that. But, that you felt it very chic. It was very good. It's because you have to try and tune in what the symbolism is. So symbolism in the sukkah is it's a thing that you're physically putting yourself inside, but you can see the sky. And the idea is that this is the time of year where you are, we get your judgment on what your bounty will be, what your earnings are going to be this year, right? Basically. And it's a good time to remove yourself from commerciality, like physicality. Like, you get yourself out yourself and you say, none of this stuff really matters, right? It's like this is what matters, and it's analogous to being wrapped in the clouds of glory of the God Lord. Yeah, it's supposed to be very good, and it is. I tell you, those years that we lived out there with my kids was really nice. It was really a treasured memory. I love it. But what the hell does God want? Now, adding this question. If God is infinite, as we Jews believe, right? If God is infinite, you can't really do anything for him, right? You can't get anything for God. Sorry, I missed the chat. I should say hello. Daniel, how you doing? Kevin, how you doing? Tracy Thomas, good afternoon, good evening. Daniel, how you doing, mate? Always nice to see you. And Matthew Pounder, how are you, sir? Fine. So what was it? So if God is infinite, right? If God is infinite, you can't really do anything for God, right? You can't do anything for God because he basically has everything. Like it's like you're getting a present for a super rich guy. Yeah, I got it already. Yeah, no, you can't get a present for God, which is a fundamental new idea that was introduced. This was the basic idea that was introduced around, I think, 4,000 years ago. Because idolatry is not a big thing anymore. Idolatry is not a big thing anymore. Sort of. It used to be idolatry work. Like, let's say you wanted something and you weren't getting it. If you gave a sacrifice, it could be anything. It could be a sheep, could be a loaf of bread, could be anything. And you will get what you wanted. It was weird. It worked. But the other thing that also existed in the world at that time was magic. The engine that drove one drove the other, right? You couldn't have one without the other. So there's this tale that the desire, the power of idolatry was driven out the world and entombed forever. But at the same time, the power of magic went out the world. They said, yeah, okay, we can live with it, right? We won't have magic anymore. Magic is over. So that's basically what happened to the dragons. There you go. Just let you know. And then they said, you know what? Let's try the same thing and let's get the desire for sexual immorality gone. Could you imagine life without that? I can't imagine life without being like horny for being dirty. That's right. That's my constant background. I'm always horny, but horny to be dirty. There's nothing what they teach in rabbinical school. If anybody asks you, so they say, Rabbi, is sex dirty? The answer is only if you're doing it right. Okay, there you go. Now I've told you. So anyway, what does God? So like God's infinite. You can't give God anything. You can't do anything for God. He's already got it. I mean, he's already basically you. Because if you consider infinity, right? The infinity means there's nothing else. That means there's no self. So that's a whole other thing to start. Now, wrap your head around that. That'll take you a few days. It'll freak you out. But don't worry. You're also you. It's a basic miracle God does for you. Don't panic. All basic theologians agree on that point, okay? But the fact of our existence is miracle. Like when one considers we are, just a bounding bounce of molecules bouncing together, right? And this water this cup is another thing of molecules, and like. What stops this molecule going through this molecule? These, like when you get the macro, like what holds things together? And that's basically what God does, right? That's basically what God does, and like gives you life and makes you be able to move and things like that. But is there any real self? There kind of is. It's kind of a miracle. There's this book. There's this not Talmudic. There's not Zodiac. Kabbalistic book that goes in like this insane thought about this, goes and comes back to it. It's a miracle. Well, it's incredible treatise. So anyway, what the hell does God want? You can't do anything for God. What does God want? Why is God asking me to sit in a freaking hut for which is great in Israel. Weather is freaking gorgeous right now. Birmingham, not so much. The Jews of Birmingham is probably sucking ass. I can't even imagine. Well, that's the thing. You can't. Once it's unpleasant being in there, physically arduous being in there, you come inside. There's no obligation there. So there's a story told. This is from the top, but actually know where this is from. That at the end of the day, the idolaters, the people who reveled within in idolatry. And I think today the idea is that somebody once told me. Who told me this? I think Hank Harris, the gentleman named Hank Harris. I think he calls it Hanoch Harris. I think he's lived in New York. I think it was him who told me this. It was him. I can imagine. Although I might be editing my. He said so. Let's say idolatry went that powerful idolatry, and imagine you wanted that thing to go well. You wanted that pitch to land. and God wasn't giving it to you. God said, "Nah, it's not good for you. It's not good for you right now." And he said, "But I really want it. I really want it." And so you could just go and give a sacrifice to, Baal or something, and you'll get like the shit you wanted, right? And it's like, "Oh, that worked, okay." And that's supposed to be this incredible drive to do that. Because why wouldn't you have that drive to do that? So the question is, where did that drive go? What did that drive in people go for once that went out the world? Once there's nothing there, what did they went for? And the answer is nothingness. That is our drive for nothingness. We crave apps and to look at TV and stuff. We crave to pass time. We're craving passing time. I was going to go and sit and put my feet up. But I thought, it's so much nice to have a little chat. So I feel like I'm interacting. Gary, how are you doing? It was so much fun to meet you. Anybody else doing the tat? No, okay. I think I'm up to date. If I'm not up to date, I do. If I missed you, I do apologize. Darren M, I missed you. There you go. How you doing, mate? So what was I going to say? So you can't really do anything for God because God is everything, has everything. But so why is God asking you to do anything? And why is God asking you to do these strange things? So again, the story is told that the idolaters, they complain at the end of days when it's the Messianic Times, there's open revelation, God exists. That's the basic idea of the Messianic Times, that it will be a Davidic kingdom in Jerusalem that will unquestionably prove the existence of God somehow. Okay, last time they had it, there was a constant cloud going perfectly up in a column, and weird miracles. There were open miracles going on there that were widely reported, not just by Jewish sources, right? So anyway, so that's the idea of a messianic here, and things that there's a much more closeness with God. I believe that's how I kind of imagine. That's how it's kind of described, right? Anyway, so what does God want? What does God want of me? Why am I sleeping in our heart? Why does God have you do anything? So just in the broad question, what does God want from each other? I think he wants us to be nice to each other. I think that's basically it. Be nicer. Like I think you want to treat other people how you want to be treated, right? And that doesn't mean if you like if you like lemons, you force everybody to eat lemons. No. That means you want everybody to have that pleasure, and how would they get that pleasure? You want them to have it. You want to treat everybody like you treat yourself. That's the basic idea. And I think if you did that, well, and if you also understood there's no real division between each other, like we're all the same thing, we're all the same person. I think we'd all just be nice to each other. I mean, again, that's just basically how the Messianic era is described in the prayers for Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, and Yom Kippur. Which I have to tell you, it's the longest one of the year. Okay, it normally takes about a minute. This one takes about 45 minutes. It goes forever. Okay, it's a really long one. It's my favorite one. It's this really cool, deep meditation. I really, really enjoy it, but you got to understand what you're doing to enjoy it. No, how you doing, mate? And Mark Malkovich, how you doing? Fine. So what? So that's what I think God wants from us, each other. Just be nice to each other. Be nice to each other. And I think God also wants us to be loyal to each other as well. I think God wants us to see the no division between each other. And I think if anybody tries to, just be a shit, false division, I think it's okay to slap them down. I think it's okay. So I think that's what God wants. I truly believe. I mean, maybe I do it a little bit vigorously. But I truly believe that's what God wants. I think God wants me to bitch slap the. Like, oh God, they're probably watching now. They're like, they're so weird. They're so weird. They are so weird. These people. They call themselves Jodie Whittaker fans, but I think they're more allies than fans. So anyway, so I think we should see the basic closeness of one another. I think that's what God wants me to do. But what does God want between us? Like, what's the point of praying? What's the point of doing anything? What the hell does God want from us? Okay, so this is the story is like idolaters come. They say, It's not fair. You gave the Jews all these, and you gave the non-Jews the 7 deadly sins. That's basically what non-Jews have to do. The 7 deadly sins. You gave Tracy. Oh, who was hello to Tracy? Well, I'll say hello again. Hey, Tracy, how you doing? You gave the Jews 613 commandments to do. Most of them are agricultural. Yeah, if you're not hilling a field, you're pretty much cool on a lot of things. That saves you a lot of headache. Not farming saves you a lot of headache, right? You don't worry about a lot of stuff. But there's lots of things we can't. Can't have bacon, can't have seafood. Oh god, I miss both of those things. There's a lot of things you can't do. And a lot of things you have to do. But what the hell? What so anyway? So the other says, look, you gave the shit to the Jews to do. Give us one thing to do, and we'll show you we're good people. So we'll do it as well. This is a parable, right? So God says, yeah, okay, here you go. And he gives them the mitzvah of sukkah, right? He gives them the little hut thing. And they go and they sit in the hut, right? And God makes it super hot. God makes it super hot. They sit in the hut and they schwitz. God makes it super hot. And eventually they're starting to pass out. They can't do it. They get out the sukkah. They go in. And on the way out, they kick it and it falls down. And they go in and they cool down. And then in a really weird way, God laughs. You don't hear God laughing. God has a chuckle. That's a real story. That's a real parable. It's a weird one. So here's what's going on. It's a fundamental disagreement of what worship is, right? The idolatrous way is that it's transactional. I will do this for you if you do this for me. Yeah, and we look, wherever is in a Bible, say, please God, get me out of this, I'll do anything, right? And everybody said it, and there's no shame with it, okay? Everybody said it is cool. If you're an atheist, it's cool. You say it's programmed into our hypothalamus or something. Whatever. It's whatever it is. Hey, but that's what everybody does in that crisis, right? Fine, they go, God, I didn't do anything, right? And sometimes God says, okay. Most of the time these things work out, but sometimes they can't be. But everybody said that. But that's the mistake. Making your relationship transactional is the mistake, right? What God wants is a relationship with you, right? That's what I think God wants. God wants to interact with you, right? That's why, the people in the story, they stayed in the sukkah when it got hot. Jews, okay, so I'm coming inside now. Yeah, we did that one year when I lived in Miami. Man, it was hot. In Miami, the place, I think it was one school, I think, rented out a cool box, like a walk-in fridge that's movable, and then they cut the top of it and they put this schach on top, so you can see. And that was your sukkah, right? You go in there and you turn the air conditioner, just turn the core on, and you'll be like, it'll be the only cool sukkah in town because it got hot. Miami was freaking hot. So anyway, Jews go inside, but because the idolaters didn't, because they could only conceive of a transactional relationship with God, and they didn't fulfill the commandment in their head. That's why I kicked it on the way out. They hated it. See, that was a mistake. You see, you got to view things as a conduit to a relationship with God. So here's what I'm going to suggest. That's what God wants. God wants a relationship with you. So here's what I'm going to suggest to everyone. And again, doesn't matter if you're an atheist or a Jew, whatever you are, Christian, whatever you are. I think this is universal. This universally could be good, right? This universally could be good. There's a day on called Friday called Hoshana Rabbah, which is the day of judgment for non-Jews. Okay, our day was a couple of weeks ago, Yom Kippur, right? Rosh Hashanah, right? Yours is Hoshana Rabbah, and we're supposed to pray for you. Actually, yeah, we are. That's why I put out the when I pray for you, but in more general terms than dickhead Svi did. I like it. Like we're supposed to pray for the well-being of the world, and there's a special extra long prayer service. Which those are a nightmare, right? I got I'm recording the game shows, right? I got the 2 game shows. We've got to cut them down in length. They were too long, but they're freaking good. If you haven't seen the game shows, go check them out. Geek Lord Overmind and Comic Book Improv. We're going to change the name of Comic Book Improv probably tomorrow if I can get myself together to do the artwork. It's going to be called the Big Comic Book Pitch. The Big Comic Book Pitch. It's much better, I think, than Comic Book Improv. Comic Book Improv says names it's a placeholder name. Fine. Yeah, Big Comic Book Pitch. I think it's a much better name. So yeah, go check that comic. Go and check it out. It's a fun freaking show. It was really fun. And we got a good guest this week as well. We got what's his name? Carl from Mary Buzz. Go check out the stream I did with him today as well. He's a really interesting guy. And it's stripped. Freaking awesome. It's so well written. I was so impressed. I'm telling you, it's not Alan Moore good, but it's that kind of close under. He's been to that school of storytelling, right? He knows what he's doing, right? He knows what he's doing. It's very impressive. His artwork's impressive. I like it. I really like it. I want to see more stuff from him. Okay, I'd love to see him get busy enough that he can do other books. I want to see him do a Wonder Woman book or something. I want to see him do something mainstream. I mean, make it his own thing. But yeah, I want to see him do that because I think he's a talent. I think he's going to be on. I got to go trawling for another guy. Fine. So yeah, check that. And there's Geek Lord Overmind. Freaking awesome. Geek Lord Overmind. It's like Question of Sport for sci-fi nerds. Dan Hadley hosts it, and he's brilliant. He is freaking brilliant doing it. Noel hosts the Comic Book Improv. He's great as well. Noel's great when he's doing improv because he's like, yeah, Noel's apparently like rolls with the punches, and it's good. He knows what to do. Dan is very good at being structured. Dan is just super structured, right? But they're both great. They're both freaking great in it. So go check out both the shows. So, okay, Thursday. Nightmare, right? Thursday, I'm recording those shows. Then I got to stay up late. 11 o'clock is Comic Con, so I'm with Noel for that. Okay, so then I probably got to get up at like 5 in the morning. Gonna have like 3 or 4 hours sleep, right? Because there's a special Hoshana Rabbah prayers, and it's also my wife's birthday, so I'm working on a present for her. I'll show it to you guys tomorrow. I'm going to show you progress on it. We did this when we redid our kitchen. There's a backsplash, and it was going to be in glass, and you could print anything on it. So I painted this thing for my wife. She wanted to do the 7 species of Israel, which is pain in the ass to work out. It is. 1 second. Wheat, barley, pomegranates, figs, olives, dates. Oh my, grapes. Oh, here you go. So I did. What was I going to say? What was I going to say? So I did this backsplash with it, and it looks really freaking nice. So the thing where my wife lights candles on Friday night, Jews like candles on Friday night, right? There's a little like blessing you say, and she had it printed out, and it's got smaller as time's gone on, so it's not smaller for us to look at now. So she needs a newer, bigger one. So I tried to do one last year and I screwed it up. Didn't look very good. So I'm doing a much bigger one for her. So I'm doing this artwork for it to match that thing. So, but I've got to get it done. I've got to get that done by Friday, right? That's all systems go. I've recorded tomorrow's video. I'm doing a live stream tomorrow night, but I recorded tomorrow's video today. It's awesome. Okay, you got to check out this one. It's Mandip Gill. Oh boy, didn't that age bad? She's so stupid. She's so fucking stupid. Oh my god, she's so fucking stupid. You can't believe how stupid this girl is. I mean, really, it's like you can see like the rocks rolling around in her hair. Okay, you got to check it. So I did a oh boy, that aged badly, which is a pain in the ass to edit because I take I have to recut the audio from the original clip and put it in so you can hear it properly. Pain asked to do. Anyway, but they're worth it because they're great. So that's good. I already recorded that, so I'm ahead of the game. So I'm going to be working on my wife's thing tomorrow, and I got to get a jump on my regular editing job as well. Fine. So yeah. So then I guess I'm up to 11. Then I got to do like the Shana Rabbah prayers, which is for you pray for the well-being of you non-Jews around the world. Like things go well. Like I'm praying for Trump. I'm sorry, I hate to tell you. He's my man. He's my man. Love him. I know a lot of people hate him. Listen. Here's why I tuned in because I thought it would be funny. Okay, I wasn't going to be like Donald Trump's running for president. Get out of here! This is going to be hilarious, and it was. It was. It started off. It was really funny. Like it was really freaking funny. You know, like China. It was hilarious, right? And then everybody started to freak out. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, he's going to win!" I'm like, "Yeah, he probably will, won't he?" And people started to lose their shit, and they started to make stuff up, and it was weird. It was like he made fun of a handicapped person. No, he didn't. I was watching, and the weird thing is, we both watched the same thing, and we both saw different things. It's insane, isn't it? It's freaking crazy. But that's what's going on. But let's face it. Nuts. Chris Burrs, how you doing, mate? Canada's greatest fringe. How are you, sir? So Friday is Hoshana Rabbah. So here's what I'm going to suggest. Give charity. Give charity. Though. This is what I'm going to do. Basically, the overview is this. Take a punt, okay? Take a punt. It's not going to take much out of you, and it might work, right? Listen, I hate it when Christians try and, like, show me the light of Jesus. And I know it's always coming from a good place, right? It's always coming from them loving me. And it really is. I can always, and I'm like, oh God, and like they ask me questions and I got answers and it doesn't work out, you know, doesn't work out the way they hope it's going to. And I feel bad for them. And it's always coming from a good place, right? It's always coming from a good place. I mean, mostly. From what I can gather. Okay. I think it is. So yeah, I'm not that's why I always say I'm not proselytizing. I'm really not. I'm just saying, listen, you're my subscribers. You know, you're my people. I feel a connection to you. I feel a responsibility for you. I want the best for you, right? That's what I'm saying. I want the best for you. Give this a punt. It might work, right? According to my worldview, you might get lucky, right? That's the best I can tell you. But here's what I'm going to suggest. Give charity. I would say give. It doesn't matter if it's a lot. You can give. It can be $18. It can be $1. I'm saying 18. 18 is the Jewish number for charity because 18 is the numerical value, a number of life for life, right? We give an 18 and multiples of 18. So give like if you want to get real super crazy, give it to a Jewish charity. You know, I'm going to put a charity in the chat, which I thoroughly enjoy, endorse. Eliezer. Here, 1 second. It gives like poor people stuff, you know, like food. They just the people who work there are just like the greatest people ever. I personally know the people there. They and the work they do is fantastic. So I thoroughly endorse them. Right, this is I can't endorse them any more than this. I'm going to put it in the video notes as well. Give a donation to them. Just give a donation. And then again, if you're atheist or Christian, whatever, pray to God. Try and have to say, listen, God, I really need this thing. Can you help me out? I get it. You want to have a relationship? I'm open to the idea. I'm just worrying about this thing. Okay, can you help me out with this? And then we can talk, right? So I think pray honestly, and I don't know if you're there. I don't know if you're listening. Let's see what works out, right? Let's see what works out. I think you might get lucky. I think you might be lucky, mate. I think you might get. I think if you all try, you might well be lucky because the and you want to make it absolutely sure. Yeah, want to really help yourself out, and this is just good advice, regardless, right? Regardless, it's always good to do this. New Year's resolution: look at yourself, and say, if God is real, right? If God is real, and I'm not telling you it's right. I'm just saying, if God is real. Then ask yourself, what would God want me to do? Where would God want me to get better, right? Like, what can I do to make myself a better me, right? And try and commit in whatever tiny way it is, the smallest way. I've been toying around with this idea. There's this thing called a way a day. Okay, so there's this Jewish idea, which came into vogue about not long ago, like 50 years ago, right? It was pretty recent. This Jewish idea called Lashon Hara. It's always been an idea where it's like speaking badly about other people is verboten, right? Lashon Hara is just it's negative speech, right? And there's lots of ways to do it. So there's this thing called the Way a Day. It's a 6-month program where you get like one law of it a day and a little story, and it's pretty cool. I think it might be like universally interesting. I might start doing that on the channel, like a way that, and what it is, it's a way of analyzing how it is to look at people positively, right? And how it is to hold yourself back from speaking badly, and why that's good for you, right? And if this isn't like permanent change, let's say you want to do it, I commit to doing something crazy like this for like between 3 and 4 in the afternoon, right? I'll do it for that time. I won't talk shit about anyone, right? Which is essentially what it is. Right? If you can do it, and if the whole world can do that, it'll be good. But it's good for you, right? So I'm thinking about doing that. Maybe we'll go down, but that's what I'm saying. What does God want? I think God wants to have a relationship with you, right? I don't think he wants it to be transactional. I think he wants it to be, which is the drawback of that is you can't buy him off, right? You can't buy him off. You can't do anything for God. Well, we're back to that thing. You can't do anything for God because God has everything, right? You can't do anything for God. So everything you're doing is to bring you into awareness of different things, right? That's the basic idea. I'm gonna close in a minute. I'm gonna tell you this end about this thing, right? Go back to my sukkah. I'm gonna talk about these things, the Arbor Minute, because these are a weird one, right? These are freaking weird, right? You got to get this lemon, and it's not cheap, right? The lemon, this set. I was looking at my friend's website in America. It's like $150 or more, right? For you get it's a palm leaf, big farm, and you got to get one with the straight leaf, and the top's got to be totally straight, right? And then you got to get the hadassah, the myrtle. I think it's called myrtle, right? Which smells really nice. And then you get the willow ones. You better got to keep them moist. And then you get this lemon, this etrog. And it's got to be like this color, and it's got to look. The color of this one's freaking gorgeous, right? I was worried that the top bit was broken, but it's apparently a-okay. And you hold them together and you wave them together. There's many bits of symbolism in there. And again, symbolism is about knowing how to tune in. Like again, in the future, they're going to say, what's the symbol for? What is this apple symbol, right? What does it mean? What does this N symbol mean on your shoes? Does it mean? And people felt they're so good by having it on them. Right, so that's what symbolism. So this is this works for Jews, anyways. It's about Jewish unity. Each part represents a different type of person. You have the etrog, which has a smell and a taste, and so that they're people who do good deeds, and they deeply study the books of Torah, right? The books of wisdom, right? They have those two types of those. They do those two things. They're the most pious people. Then you got the people who just study, right? They're not really that good. They don't really interact with people who also do anything other than study. Yeah, that's kind of who they are, right? They're good, but they're and then I think better are the people who do good deeds and don't study, but maybe that's because I don't understand study. But Brisbane says, so what you're saying, man who gives no free management? Yeah, it's really weird. It's really, like I actually find Freema too beautiful to lust over, right? I feel like I'm defiling her because I'm just saying, she's so like unbelievably perfect. I mean, it's like I could stare at her. She's like a incredible Baroque statue, like come to life. Like everything is just perfect. And so I'm not turned on by her because I'm too like in awe of her. I feel she's so far above me. So Mandikib, no. Mandikib does turn me on because it's me like, I don't know, taking advantage of somebody, who's not that, clever. Anyway, so Mandikib doesn't turn me on at all. No. So anyway, so then you have the people who don't do good things or study, and basically you hold them together and you have to wave them together because they're basically saying it takes all sorts. You have arseholes, you have nice people, we're all kind of have to be together. Unknown 289 says God wants his children to turn back onto him. I think you're right. I do think you're right. That's why I'm encouraging you to give this thing a try this Friday and wake them up to what's really going on and who's really running the world. Well, okay, now you got me worried. I hope you're not going to say the prodigals, the elder Zion, because you had me up until now, right? So now holding my breath, see where we're going. The devil and the elite. But they're losing power. They've lost power and they're freaking out. Their time's over. I think a Messianic age is freaking a year away. I do. And what they want us to do, the New World Order. Look, the whole thing about covering our faces, there's something fishy about it. Okay, I'm not buying it. That they're gonna be the elite. Don't have to cover their face, right? They want. It's science is fishy about it. But they've lost. That's the thing. They've lost. This is the last. I would say if you're Christian, I would say this is the last. Death spasms of the Satan. It really is. It's like I think it's over, right? I think it's. I don't know how it's going to end, but I think it's nearly over. So listen, I'm going to end with a little religious story, which I actually think is kind of cool. I should do a comic book of it at some point. Actually, a bit I really want to do as a comic book is a bit where the 10 brothers, the 10 brothers of sons of Jacob is facing against Joseph. They don't know it's Joseph, and they're all like individually unbuckling their swords, getting ready to go to war. Keep in mind that 2 of them took out like an entire city, like Shechem took out an entire nation. So this will be this massive unit, and they could take on the might of Egypt. Right, this was going to be like a superpower fight. I like a superpower fight. It's about it, and then it turns out that he's actually Joseph, and then they're not going to go to war. I'm Joseph, he says. My father alive. That's a really good bit in the comic, which I would love to illustrate. So I'm going to end with the other story. So Isaac has 2 sons. He has Jacob and he has Esau, right? And they are twins, but they don't get on. They're supposed to work together, but they don't get on. They don't get on. And there's a bit where Isaac is coming back to. Jacob's coming back to Israel, and he's going to be met by Esau and his forces. And you think Esau's going to kill him? He really thinks Esau's going to kill him. He splits his camp up into 3, so one will survive, and and he meets this angel the night before he meets Esau, and he wrestles it. It's a really cool bit in the Bible, right? And then when he actually meets Esau, it's all nice. He's like, yeah, we're nice. He's like, Esau says, come, we're gonna walk together. He says, listen. Esau says, listen, I got all this stuff. I got this, I got the wife, I got the kids, I got all this stuff now. I'm gonna move slower than you. Go ahead. I'm in the future. We will walk together. I believe we're walking. I think that's what it is. I think that again, this is my evangelical worldview, which might be crazy, and I'm happy if you want everyone to come on and chat with me about it. I'm always open to chat with people about it. But I believe Trump represents the Aesop. I think Aesop is actually. There's 2 ways they describe him in the Bible. He's red hair. That's how they describe him. He's tall. He's very tall with red hair. Okay, I kind of believe it. Okay, that makes sense. And the Bible uses his words very sparingly. Why would it use that? I think there's a connection there, and I think he's the good part of Aesop. The bad part were the naughty National Socialists. The good part is Dolly Parton, the country and western. The heartland. That's the good of Aesop, and that I believe. So I believe we are really genuinely at the end of days, guys. I really do. I think we're coming up to the end of this thing called Shemitah, or this new Shemitah life cycle. I think it happens in a year or 2 years. I think there was going to fundamentally be changed by then. I think there's going to be a messianic change. But you know what? I've been wrong before about lots of things. Fine. So this was an impromptu little stream. What does God want? I think God just wants to be friends. That's what I think. He wants us to be friends. I think God wants to be friends. So and with that, I'm going to get end broadcast. And it says, am I sure? Baby, I'm always sure. Be sure in your judgment. Be sure. So I'm hitting end